Hi everyone, it's Roland Kym here, your Vancouver Realtor. If you've been thinking about getting into the housing market but feel the prices are just out of reach, I want to share with you one of the most powerful wealth building strategies in Canada right now in the real estate sphere, and that is house hacking. It's not a trick, it's not illegal, and it's not a loophole. It's a strategic way to buy smarter, lowering your living costs, and build long-term equity at the same time. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through what house hacking really means and how Canadians are doing it successfully all around you, what your options are, and what you want to watch out for and make sure you don't do. So in simple terms, house hacking simply means that you're living in a property that you own while renting out part of it to generate income. That rental income helps you cover your mortgage, your expenses, your utilities, often allowing you to live for far less than if you were in the market renting, or even for free sometimes, and all while you're building your equity. In Canada, it usually looks something like one of the following setups. One could be buying a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex and living in one of the units while renting the others out. Another situation is purchasing a single family home with a basement suite or a secondary unit that you're renting out. Sometimes you're actually living in the smaller unit and renting out larger part of the home. Adding a laneway or a garden suite to your existing property and renting that out, or even renting out a spare bedroom or a portion of your home or garage through a long-term lease agreement or a short-term rental platform if the rules allow it. The goal is simple. Your home works for you financially, not just as a place to live, but as an income-producing asset while wealth is being created. This strategy has become incredibly popular in Canada, and for good reason. Housing affordability is tight, and in major cities like Vancouver and Toronto, it's really tight. And with interest rates having come down a bit, they're still high, making mortgage payments pretty tight. But when you can apply rental income towards your qualification with your lender, you might afford a better home with more options than you thought possible. Lenders will often let you use a portion of a verified rental income from a legal suite to help qualify for a better mortgage. Plus, because you're living there, you still get the owner-occupied rates and lower down payment requirements, which is awesome. And beyond affordability, it's an on-ramp to your future real estate investing. You gain landlord experience, you build equity through your tenants' rent payments, and over time you can leverage that equity to purchase your next property. Going back to talk about some of the typical options available, I want to talk about option one, the duplex, triplex, or fourplex. You live in that one unit and rent out the others. These are ideal situations for privacy and income when available. Major markets really don't have these as often available. But properties with 2 or 4 units can still qualify for insured mortgages while you occupy one of them. So zoning matters. Make sure that you are in the right zoning and you know your municipality rules. Option 2 is buying a single family home with a basement suite or a mortgage helper. This really is the classic Canadian housing hack. You buy a home with a legal or essentially unlegal suite that you convert. That rental income can cover a large chunk of your monthly mortgage payment and dramatically improve your cash flow and how you're living in the home. Option 3 is adding a laneway or a garden suite. If you already own a home with a laneway or a backyard access, you may be able to build a small secondary unit. Cities like Vancouver and Edmonton actively encourage this to increase housing supply, and it's an upfront cost, but it will generate long-term income consistently and repeatably. Option 4, rent rooms in your home or you rent out your garage. If you're younger or just starting out, this can be a fantastic way to step forward. You buy a townhome or a condo and you rent out 1 or 2 of the rooms to friends or tenants. It's the fastest way to turn your personal residence into an income-producing property. So step 1, you really need to run your numbers and do that early before you start shopping, before you get excited, and be clear on your budget. Be clear on your expected rents, the mortgage qualification that you need to achieve, because mortgage brokers can help you understand how much rental income a lender will include in your application, which is key. Step 2, find the right property. Look for homes with separate entrances, good layouts for privacy, and location with strong rental demand. Neighborhoods near transit, university, or major employers often will help the unit rent faster and for more money. Step number 3 is you need to understand zoning and permits. Every city has its own rules about secondary suites or rental situations. Legal suites do need proper permits, fire separation, and the building code compliance. If you're buying a home with an existing suite, verify its status before you remove subjects so you know what you're buying. Step 4, again, crunch the cash flow. Add up your mortgage, property taxes, insurance, utilities, maintenance, etc. Then subtract the realistic rent. Does it cover the costs that you need it to cover? In certain markets, it'll cover a lot more. In more competitive markets, it might not. How much of a cushion does it offer you in your living situation? Numbers don't lie, so really be honest with yourself at this point. And step 5 is plan for management. Even if you live on site, you're a landlord now. Screen tenants carefully, understand who you're getting into business with, set clear agreements, and treat it like a business. That's really key. The right tenant can make your home hacking smooth and profitable and wonderful, and the wrong tenant can turn it into a headache. Trust me, I know. Step 6, think long-term. House hacking is a stepping stone to where you might go. You might live in the property for a few years, then move out and rent out the whole home. And over time, you could do that a few times. And over time, the equity could build up and can fund your next purchase and your future home. That's really how real estate portfolios start. So all that being said, things to avoid and do not do. Do not ignore local rules. An illegal suite can jeopardize insurance and mortgage approval, and it can be a headache that's just difficult to resolve. Do not overestimate rental income. Check current market rates, not what you're hoping to get, but what you're going to get. Do not under budget for repairs. Even new homes need some maintenance, so set aside the percentage that's realistic for the type of home that you're buying for the unexpected costs. And do not leverage yourself. Just because you can buy a bigger property doesn't mean you should. Always keep a financial buffer for your confidence and your security. And do not neglect the value of privacy and boundaries. Living with tenants is a different dynamic. Set clear expectations if you're in a house hacking situation where you have roommates. And when it's done correctly, house hacking is one of the most stable and profitable ways for Canadians to enter the real estate market. House hacking is effective, and it brings people along the realistic paths to home ownership and long-term wealth building in Canada. It lets you start sooner, learn the investing side at the same time, and grow your portfolio in one smart move. So if you're curious about how this might work for you, feel free to reach out. If you're in the Vancouver area, I would love to sit down with you and explain some of the options available to you. I'm Roland Kym, your Vancouver Realtor, helping you build your future through real estate. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Hope you're having a great day.